into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in. Didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they like, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Well, here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. First and 10 now. Willis and the Titans at their own 19-yard line. The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Quiddy Pay getting in there and burying him behind the line.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Tough spot for Willis and the Titans, now facing 3rd and long following the sack. This will go to Henry out wide. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Jordan Berry out to punt on 4th down. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know, they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They go play action with Ryan. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Ryan. He's going to try and go deep again. And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there for Indy. 41 yards.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice...
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now 14-0. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
Henry again on second down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Willis. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That third down conversion good for 23.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Meanwhile, Willis' throw pulled in by Woods. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. On first down, Willis. Touchdown! Traylon Burks, 27 yards. And the Titans have got it back to within a score. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
From the 29, Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Titans are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive, and now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. The Titans at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it. And that's what they're trying to get done here.
On second down, here's Henry. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts 25. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10.
18 Rattler, 18 Rattler.
2nd down throw coming by Willis. And he will find his man on the outside. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. 14-7. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, Willis. And it's a Titans touchdown. Traylon Burks. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Titans are an extra point away from drawing level. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. On a return from his end zone, Rodgers. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Derrick Henry. A 22-yard scamper. And the Titans will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions, that confident veneer that you have. it's chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions maybe in the back of his mind. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. From the shotgun, Ryan. Left side, he finds Pierce. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. On 3rd and 1, Ryan. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Again, Ryan. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his running back, Taylor. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. To throw is Ryan. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Oh, he left this one out to the right. That's a bad miss. No good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So we've reached halftime here in Nashville, the Music City, with the Titans out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. First and 10 now, Willis and the Titans at their own 25-yard line. Willis will look to throw on 1st down. And brought in downfield by Burks. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st. 1st and 10, it's Willis. This is caught. It's Woods. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball. They leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Willis looking to throw on 1st down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Willis. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Well, a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Again, it's Taylor. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 84 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. 7 yards there and a first down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. And he'll just get rid of it.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Ryan. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Willis looking to throw it. Right side complete. That's Woods. It's their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
19 tight, 19 tight.
Now Willis to throw. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Robert Woods, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone.
He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And they're within 7 now at 28-21. Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 2nd 10 coming up here in Nashville. Third quarter action. Henry up the middle. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Corey, 17. Mustang, 19. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Back to throw, Willis. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's James. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
On the ball, on the ball.
Now Willis on 1st and 10. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play.
One of the things that led this organization to commit to him as a starting quarterback as a rookie, his ability to keep his eyes downfield and make plays out of the pocket. Able to see the receiver while on the move and complete a really accurate throw.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring it up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that one. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Malik Willis, 24 yards. And the Titans are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Ryan.
Slant pass hauled in by Campbell.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 43. Now Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes.
Well, that sack backs Ryan and the Colts up a bit here, facing a 3rd and long.
Tuesday.
Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Let's go. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. And Willis keeping it himself on the option. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. third down, Henry. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And he missed it. It's no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Titans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout.
Willis takes a hit, and the ball is free.
And the Colts pick it up.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down, but that's not necessarily true, is it?
Well, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted.
And this is caught. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And the Titans are going to come up with it. And that should just about do it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll run it again with Henry.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that could be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So for the Titans, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far.
And they will be back home next week for a date with the Washington Commanders.
style not for you, but it's for me. Yeah.